All right. We're going to talk about Israel Adesanya getting arrested for something I got arrested for. I got detained for a very similar thing long time ago. 2005, son. I'll tell you that story. I'll talk about Izzy's thing, talk about the new statement that he made. And yeah, my story is pretty funny too, actually. Probably funnier than Izzy's, to be honest with you, just because I'll be able to tell you first person what it was like to go through a similar thing. Actually, I got two stories like that because it happened to Gabrielle also. That's why this is going to be a good live stream, actually. This is going to be like story time. We're going to go talk about the Izzy story. I'll tell you about when this happened to me and then when it happened to Gabrielle. Gabrielle's is hilarious, actually. Gabrielle's is actually really funny. Yeah, the police were like, God, oh, God, I want to have sex with you so bad that I just can't really think of what was I supposed to be doing? Like, she was basically naked going through security. Anyway, we'll talk about it. What's wrong with this light? What is happening here, dude? What on earth is going on here? You guys, my studio's falling apart. Not really, but I had a light problem there. Anyway, so yeah, I guess while everybody comes on, let me think of a different story. I could just tell you like a different story just for the first 5-10 minutes while everybody gets on. Jesse on everything has been fired. Thank you. I just decided I'm just going to start making videos there again and I'll just start posting them. And that is exactly what I've been doing. And I'm glad the alert worked because the algorithm changed. I'm very, very confident that the algorithm changed. I think maybe like 3, 4, 5 days ago. And for the first time ever, it's working in the favor of smaller channels. Like if you go look at Guru's videos, dude. Like I looked at Guru's Guru's Guru Clips videos. Dude, he's getting bananas views in the last few days. That's how I know, because my views are up, his views are up. That means that the algorithm must have changed and pushed in the direction of whatever our channels are, because I know the way that the thing normally works is like they will, if let's say that like 7 channels all post about Israel Adesanya all at the same time. Like they're not just going to blanket your guys' thing with 10. They're going to prioritize the one that they think that you guys are most likely to click on. And so like for a while, it would just be like, you knew for sure you're going to be sitting underneath, like, I don't know. But I think anyway, I'm pretty sure that changed, but neither here nor there. Anyway, so yeah, it was an early stoppage, 100%. I agree, dude. Now, I mean, if Pereira caught him again, then it wouldn't be. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me go. We'll seriously wait like 90 more seconds, and then I'll just jump into this thing. But I kind of, I jumped on here without any notice, so I don't want to just like immediately start talking about the Izzy arrest and then have to do it over and over and over and bore the hell out of you guys. So maybe I could tell a story between now and then. I don't know. I used to tell these stories on TikTok all the time. Do you guys want to hear the story about when I knocked out the same guy twice in one night? You want to hear about the story where my roommate's girlfriend almost got kidnapped and killed and it was our fault? The last, fight I ever got in the street was a long time ago. I don't know. Actually, that'll suck up a lot more than 2 minutes if I tell any of those, but remind me after, and then I could tell one of those guys. I did the Sammy the Bull interview. I thought it was terrible. My side of it. That's only, dude. I don't get nervous very easily around people. And I was like at the beginning of that thing, like I kind of came into, but I was shaky at the beginning. I'm like, dude, this is like I read Sammy the Bull's book in 2005. Like I read his book that's actually one of the very first books that I read for leisure. Might have even been 2003. I don't know. But I read that book so sitting with him was crazy. I was like, Jesus. Not to mention we wrapped out for a good 2 hours before that. So I was like he's a serious guy, dude. Like, there's a lot of bullshit on YouTube. That's you sit in the room with him, you know, like when you sit in the room with Sammy, it's different, dude. Like he's not like, even if you had no idea who he was and you started rapping out with him, you would just kind of be like, damn, dude, this is a dude that I feel like I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of. And when you know who he is, it's like, fuck me, dude. You know. All right, so let's do this thing. So Izzy, obviously, everybody I'm sure knows he got arrested at the airport for carrying brass knuckles in his bag. And you know, I think like anytime that I hear about someone getting banged for having something in their bag on their return flight, you're automatically like, you just automatically think that's funny that they got it over with them and didn't get caught. But in this case, Izzy's, the official story is that someone gave them to him as a present while he was in New York. It's like, really? Someone gave them to you in New York? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That is exactly right. Khaled, thank you very much, sir. Much, much appreciated. But yeah. I was in New York, I was getting ready for fight week. And, I have some friends out here. I don't know him too well. I mean, I don't know the guy well enough to tell you who he is, since obviously these things are illegal. But yeah, this guy was like, hey, Izzy, happy birthday. And he gave me a present. I unwrapped it. He's like giving way too many details. He's like, it was like a polka dot wrapping. There was a bow on one side, a bow on the other, and I unwrapped it really slowly and I opened it up. And then there was some like, padding and stuffing. And I kind of dug all the way through, and then boom, it was brass knuckles. You're all, why are you saying all of these things? He's like, why? I'm telling the truth. This really happened. They're all right. So yeah, I had no idea that those were illegal. As a matter of fact, I didn't even realize that they were brass knuckles. I thought it was like a paperweight, I thought they were a paperweight. By the way, that is the story. That's the story that you tell. Okay. Like if you ever get caught with brass knuckles, you tell them they're a paperweight, because that's how they can be sold. Now, it might not work, dude. Might not work, but it might, because when you buy them on certain places, they call them paperweights. It's like, it's a paperweight that you could just, if you wanted to, slide over your knuckles and shatter someone's face. I'm just saying, but it is also a paperweight. Brass knuckles are a major felony in Canada. It's the same as a gun charge. It's so stupid, dude. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So dumb. Okay. Let me tell you what the rule on those shit. So here's the point. Actually, I'll get into the rest of the stuff with the Izzy stuff. And let me just say this real quick. I believe that he was given those as a gift about 1%. There's a 1% chance I would say that's true. Yeah, maybe 4%. 4% tops. 96%. He brought him with him because, I mean, look, dude. Izzy is, I mean, like, and all of these fighters, they're like me, and I'm like them, and probably a lot of you guys, in which, like, you're thinking, like, why do you dedicate your life to training to fight, dude? It's because you're a person who's conscious of threats, and you're a person who probably got bullied when you were younger, and you really don't like the idea of ever being caught in a position where you can't defend yourself. And guess what? Even as a professional fighter, there are scenarios where you would not be able to defend yourself. There are too many guys. And so you carry around whatever you think might be necessary. I have a gun on me all the time. All the time. Literally all the time. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. If I leave the house and I'm in my car, I have a Springfield 40 caliber in the glove, or in my center console, and I'm usually have one on my person or in my bag, and sometimes both. And that, like, do you think that I really think that I'm going to ever use them, in maybe, but probably not, like, probably not. But the idea of being caught in a situation where I needed it and didn't have it keeps me armed all the time. Literally all the time. Like all the time. If I'm at Jiu Jitsu, there's one in my bag. Like, I'm on the mat. I'm within 10 feet of one. You know what I mean? 10 yards. But, Izzy's from, I don't really know what the gun laws are in Australia, but you're certainly not allowed to fly with one. And so if he throws brass knuckles in his bag for the same reason. He's just kind of like, just in case. There's nothing. I don't know. What the fuck is wrong with that, dude? You know what I mean? And is he he's supposed to research? He's supposed to research hey, what are the rules in New York? Actually, that I actually take back. You should actually do that. You absolutely should do that. Wait, hang on. Hold up. Hang on. This is serious. Is this a serious comment? Is this a serious comment? What's the point of Jiu Jitsu if you have a gun on you? That's a serious comment or not a serious comment? Come on, dude. I mean, I'll respond to it. So if two guys roll up on you and they just physically attack you, can you shoot them? Can you shoot them without risking going to prison for a very, very long time? Answer, no. I mean, you might be able to in certain states, but do you really want to risk it? Or would you prefer to have the ability to just go doot, 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 break one of their arms, and then look at the other guy, you're like, you want it also? They're like, probably not. Yeah, I carry them constantly in case someone has a gun or a knife. If someone comes up to you unarmed, you don't want to shoot anyone. You know what I mean? You do not want to shoot anyone. You don't want to shoot anyone. You do not at all ever want to shoot anyone, no matter what. You don't want to. You also don't want to seriously hurt anyone. You just don't ever want to seriously hurt someone. And not because they don't deserve it, but because of what the repercussions are if you do. Bottom line, jiu-jitsu is by far the best martial art to keep you safe while simultaneously giving you basically total control of how much damage you inflict on the other guy. You obviously very easily could kill someone if you wanted to. You could kill anybody who's totally untrained. You can kill them easily. Easily, dude. Easily. A 2-stripe white belt could kill most people. Take their back and strangle them and just don't let go. You know what I mean? Just don't let go. But an advanced person, they can do whatever the fuck they want with you. Dude, this week, I can't train today because we were working on something at the beginning of class, or at Nogi on Monday, and it was really fun. So Steve's one of my two professors, him and Steve Hargett and Victor Hugo. And Steve's he taught the class, and we were working on this transition from the bottom, where you basically hook someone's leg, and then you get into a place where you pull it in, pull them into your shoulder, and then you kind of transition your hips, and then anyway, get into where you single X and all that. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. But so then he's like, okay, let's do 4 rounds. And so he's like, Jesse, you go first with me. I'm like, awesome. And I'm obviously he's a little bit younger than me, but he's exactly the same weight as me. And he's the best in the fucking world with no competition at all in Nogi in my I'm actually technically 1 division higher than him, but I'm only 2 years older than him. And he hasn't lost in Nogi fucking ever. He won ADCC. He won fucking Worlds. He won Pans. He wins everything. He literally fucking never loses. And so I'm going against the king of the mountain. And when I know that he's training a specific thing, the ease that he puts me into it, I know what he's doing every time because I know he's training that exact thing. And literally, it takes him 4 seconds to trap my leg every time. I know what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing. And he traps my leg instantly every time. It's because that's one of the only ways where you really can understand the skill gap between people like him and, regular folks is if because he's never going to go hard, he'll choke me a million times, but he's never going to go hard. The way that you really can understand the gap, if you really are thinking about it, is if you know that he's specifically trying to work on a single thing and that's what he's trying to do. And he literally can get it on you in 5 seconds, no matter what you do. And you're like, Jesus. Anyway, so my leg got hurt. Not his fault. But yeah, a regular person with, they have no fucking chance, dude. But you can, you could strangle them. You could break their leg. You could fucking break their arm. You can do whatever you want, but it's up to you. Because if you're in like kickboxing, like kickboxing, you fucking kick someone in the head. They hit their head on the ground. They die. You go to prison. You punch someone. They're knocked out. They hit their head on the curb. They die. You go to prison. Okay. Anyway, so Izzy carrying around brass knuckles? Bottom line, I obviously don't believe that he was given them as a gift, but what the fuck do I know? I also see absolutely no problem whatsoever with someone like him carrying them around because he's a fucking huge target, dude. He's a huge target, Like people, like common sense people like us think, oh, there's there's Israel Adesanya, or like, oh, there's Anthony Smith, like whoever. Some fucking 6'5" professional fighter, it's like, oh, I'm sure no one ever fucks with them. And it's like, dude, you don't like actual stupid people who are criminals. They see them and they're like, can you imagine if I fucking got, like, if I got it on that guy and I won, like if I attacked them from behind and knocked them out, it's like, they're actually bigger targets. It just, it is what it is. Anyway, so Smith Anthony was trying to kill that guy by, crushing his face. If you listen to his story about it, he didn't use jiu-jitsu because the guy had his hands in his pockets the whole time, and he didn't know if he had a gun or a knife. So he was simultaneously controlling his hands and, not letting him go into his pockets while punching, elbowing, kneeing. Anyway, but I understand what you're saying. There are a lot of guys who train jiu-jitsu who get bashed by your average tough thug. That's true. That's fair. That's true. But a guy, okay, so guys like us, like guys like us with a little bit of training, like give a guy like with a baseline temperament like ours, 6 months of serious training, and he's going to fucking annihilate any of these guys. And he probably, in fairness, probably would have anyway, but anyway, it's not here nor there. You're right though. But yeah, so Izzy has brass knuckles. He says they weren't his, whatever. He gets detained, he gets arrested, and then he said that they weren't his or whatever, that they got gifted to him. And then now they actually just dropped the charges. So that's kind of like that's the newest update, is they just dropped the charges. So that's good for him. It's just one of those things, like, you see fighter gets arrested and people are going to jump on that story, no matter what the circumstances are. Like, of all the things you can get arrested for, this is literally probably the most innocuous one I've ever heard of. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. It's bottom line. Oh, you got arrested for DUI. It's like, all right, you probably shouldn't be doing that, dude, on your very first one, but whatever, Oh, the guy got drunk, hit a chick, fled the scene. That's pretty rough. Or assault on your wife and kids. You're like, Jesus, man. But had brass knuckles in his bag. I don't think a lot of people are going to give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Because I certainly don't. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, dude. That's pretty much it as far as that Izzy story goes. I'll tell you guys 2 stories though of both me and Gabrielle getting detained for the exact same thing in separate incidents though. Joe, thank you very much, sir. I very much appreciate that. So does Gabrielle, for sure. So I don't know which one you guys want to hear first. Do you want to hear mine when I was by myself, or Gabrielle's when I was with her? And very similar stories. I'll just tell you mine, actually. Okay, so mine, this was 2005. And I was together with that girl. I was still dating that girl, Amberly, with the story that some of you guys will remember, when I got trapped in her closet with her new boyfriend outside, trapped naked in her closet with her new boyfriend on the other side of the door, after he kicked the fucking door in. Anyway, that's a whole other story. If you guys have never heard that, I'll tell you that afterwards. But I was still dating that chick. And she and her family were in Hawaii, and I was going there for a week, but they flew separately. And so I was flying out of San Diego. They flew out of LA. And so I go to the airport, like, pack everything, check my bag, whatever. I'm going through airport security, and, where you pull all the stuff out of your pockets and put it into the thing. I literally I was like, doon, boom, fucking switchblade stiletto in my hand as I'm putting it in, TSA guy right in front of me. And I was like, I honestly can't explain what I was doing. Like, I have no fucking idea how that ended up in my pocket. I was just so used to I was just so used to having it. It's like, I put all my stuff in the same place every day. And then when I would leave, I would take the same stuff and put it in my pockets. And it was just like, I had it on me all the time, So like, it was one of those moments where I simultaneously realized, like, dude, if it was a fucking just any kind of knife, I'm in trouble. It's a fucking automatic knife in California, switchblade, which is illegal. It's illegal on its own. Not to mention that I looked like I was trying to carry it onto a fucking plane, dude. So like, I literally just went like this, like pulled it out, and I looked at it, and he looked at me, and I just went, and we had this moment where I was like, I have no idea why this is on me. I'm relinquishing this to you voluntarily. But because it was just kind of weird because I pulled it out, and then he saw it, and it looked like it was just this weird moment where it wasn't like, if I would have just relinquished it, I don't know if it would have been different. But this dude who clearly was like a new TSA agent was like he acted like he had just popped one of the 9/11 like hijackers, like he acted like he had literally just stopped the next 9/11, and he went nuts, bro. And he brings over his manager. He's this big white dude who he had to have been new, dude. The way he behaved, he had to have been new. And so they made the biggest deal out of it ever. The biggest deal ever. They called the cops over. The cops come over. They detain me at the airport. I have to talk to the cops. The cops were chill, dude. Like, they were just like, look, we have no choice but to detain you. Like, you know how it is. Like, it's this, because keep in mind, it's 2005. Like, we're not that far removed from 9/11, And yeah, so I got arrested. Technically, I got arrested and then released like while I was at the airport. So I was like detained and released at the airport, which in the report I found out later technically counted as an arrest. And then here's the part that's super fucked up. So I had a court date, I got charged, all that stuff. I went to Hawaii. This happens literally on my way onto the airport, or on my way to the airplane. I thought I was fucked, dude. Like, I thought I was arrested. I was going to miss my flight, and they were cool. Like, they kind of rushed me through, and I still made my flight. And I was very early though. I go to Hawaii. I spend 7 days in Maui, just drinking, having a good time, doing whatever. And I completely fucking forgot that this even happened. I completely forgot. I didn't remember. I don't know. Like, I just didn't remember. It was just like, I don't know what to say. And and this is when I was, if you guys know my real story, then this was like in the dead center of me being like full throttle, like hooked on Vicodin. So I was like not myself, I was not myself. I was, brain dead enough that I would fucking throw a switchblade in my pocket going to the airport, get arrested, and completely fucking forget about it, dude. Mr. Pibb, dude, stop repeating yourself. You're on timeout. Anyway, so I was, so I forgot about it. And then fast forward, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half or something. I don't know. Long time, dude. And I get a notice in the mail that I have a warrant out for my arrest. And I'm like, what the fuck? And actually, this was much longer. I take that back. This was way longer than a year, because this is when I was like with Gabrielle, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, this says that the county of San Diego has a warrant out for me. And she's like, for what? And I'm like, dude, I have no idea. And so I called them, and it was that thing. They're like, they're like, yeah, you're apparently you got arrested with a switchblade in the airport, and then you never showed up to court. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, what do I do? I actually ended up getting it dismissed. So if you if you actually, this is not, I'm not giving anybody advice here. This is just what happened with me. I waited so long to actually deal with this that they just discharged it. Like, so nothing happened, which is, again, I had no idea if that would work for anybody else. It just happened to work out that way for me, that I just ignored it completely and then it just went away. But yeah, so that happened to me. Gabrielle's was like, we were in Arizona and we had just gone to a wedding, and this was 2007 or either 2007, 2008. And like I had given Gabrielle a stun gun, like a super high voltage fucking stun gun, and also all kinds of other shit, like all kinds of shit. So we fly to Arizona, we go to this wedding, have a good time, party our balls off, wake up in the morning, and we're like, oh shit, we're late for our flight. We like hustle over to the airport. Gabrielle's wearing like, dude, there's no, the only way that I could do justice to the outfit she was wearing is it's as slutty as you will ever see an outfit on her. Like, it was like, it's not like slutty. It's just like, she's wearing a dress that literally was like cut like this. She wasn't wearing a bra. She just like, she looked naked in this thing. Like, she looked so fucking hot, dude. But it was, that's what she's wearing. So we're going through we're going through airport security. I get through, and the guys are like, hey, whose bag is this? And she's like, oh, that's mine. Dude. They go, and I'm like, what do you have in there? She's like, I don't think anything. Bro, she has the fucking taser in her bag. She's got fucking two things of pepper spray in her bag. So like on the way down, they let us through security with a fucking 2 million volt stun gun, and 2 things of pepper spray. And they just didn't even catch it. And then on the way back, they were like, what the fuck are you doing? So initially they were all like dirt. And Gabrielle, like, so they detained us again. I think she might still be on a watch list because of this, actually. So like, they detained us, and it was fucking hilarious, dude. Sometimes one of my favorite things about being together with her is to be like a fly on the wall and just watch how people interact with her, like just kind of like as an anthropological kind of experience. It's just like, because you're a dude, like, exactly what it's like to be around a girl like that, what it's like, and it kind of like just melts your brain. You're just kind of like, gosh, I feel like I'm not able to be objective right now, like, and so I just watch people sometimes, and like these cops, they couldn't keep it together, dude. Like they fucking could not keep it together. It was like, when I did the switchblade thing 2 years ago, 3 years, whatever it was, they literally acted like I was Osama bin Laden. And with her, these guys were like, the cop goes, like when they were talking about the stun gun, the guy's all, hey man, he's like, you guys should see what this fucking stun gun does. Like, he's acting like we're like just buddies and shit. Like, he's laughing and whatever. And it's not shocking. I mean, I would be exactly the same if I was a cop in that situation, but they put her on a list. We still ended up getting through. They did the same thing. They detained her and like wrote it up. And then, I'm sure that she actually dealt with it though. I don't even know what the hell she had to do, but we got detained. We still made our flight. But yeah, stun gun, two things of pepper spray, no problem on the way there. Not so good on the way back, son. But yeah, I mean, I do honestly though, the brass knuckles thing, this is one thing I'll say about that is, why are brass knuckles illegal exactly? Like, I'm being totally serious. Like, why? 2 million volts isn't even high anymore, dude. 2 million volts is not. That's not here. I'll show you guys. But like, yeah, you guys, let's shop for stun guns on this one, huh? Let's do it. But first, I'll say, like, brass knuckles in general being illegal, literally, of all the dumb things, to make illegal, I think that's one of the dumbest. It's just so dumb, dude. It's so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. It's because it's metal and you can put it on your hand. It's like, I don't know. Like, so what, dude? You know what I mean? Like, so what? A person still has to make a conscious decision to put the knuckles on his hand and then hit a person with them. Like, so it's, I mean, how is that any different than like a hammer being illegal? You know, like what? So why is a hammer legal? You know what I mean? So like, oh, hammers are good. Hammers are good, but brass knuckles are not. You're all, can you explain that to me? They're all, well, you know, a hammer you can use to, you know, bang nails into the wall. And I'm like, right. And if I hit a person with a hammer, they're going to die. Yeah, but you use them to nail things into the wall. You're all, who says that that's what you use it for? Well, I mean, that's what they're made for. Okay. But like, you know, but hang on, let me block this guy now. Now you're perma-blocked, bro. Good try. Yeah, brass knuckles serve a purpose also. A paperweight. You know what I mean? Actually, let's just take a paperweight as an example. Dude, paperweights are these huge bricks of heavy stuff. Like you take that, you hit someone with it, they die. Like paperweights are legal. What should be illegal is to put them on your hand and hit someone's face with them. Obviously. You know what I mean? Like, okay. God, people are so dumb. So dumb. What's your point, dude? What's the point of this comment? You can't bring a hammer on a plane, genius. Who the fuck is talking about a plane, you fucking idiot? Brass knuckles are illegal. I'm not talking about planes. I'm saying they're illegal, period. Okay? It's idiotic that they're illegal. I'm not talking about bringing things on a fucking plane. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Brass knuckles, brass knuckles ain't the same. Whatever. But brass knuckles are illegal all over the place. They're very illegal all over the place, which is, again, stupid. It should be like, you know, if you put them on your hand and you hit someone with it, that being like attempted murder, I'm good with that. I'm totally fine with that. Or like aggravated assault instantly, you know, or like, you know, again, assault with a deadly weapon all day. All day, dude. All day. You put those things on your hand and you hit a person with them. Attempted murder on the harsh side, aggravated assault on the low side, assault with a deadly weapon all day long. But like, again, making them illegal is just, it's stupid, dude. Makes no sense. It is stupid. You're not making any coherent arguments in the opposite direction. You're just saying it's not stupid, but it is. Dude, there are zero uses for millions of things. Okay, again, brass knuckles are sold online as paperweights. Right? Like a paperweight just is a thing that weighs a lot that you stick on your table to hold papers down. Can you use a fucking brass knuckles for that? Yes. So what are we talking about, dude? Anyway, exactly. A handful of heavy rings, same thing, dude. Knuckles serve no purpose other than to attack. Jesus, man. Are guns legal? Okay. If guns are legal, then how are brass knuckles illegal? Okay. All you do is shoot things with it. A charity wheelchair boxing match versus Guru. Dude, I'll do whatever versus Guru in a charity match. We could play basketball. We can do fucking wheelchair boxing. He's not in a fucking wheelchair, though. He's not in a wheelchair. Vegas Vips, thank you very much, sir. Algorithm suppression, I would be at 100. I do not disagree with that. I do not disagree with that. There is certainly some kind of limit. Like my videos never go past a certain level for some reason, and they used to go way higher. But who knows? The algorithm is whatever. I'm sure, honestly, I think that it's like, I think they must just have like a range of impressions that channels can get, and they like expand and retract based on different stuff or whatever. I really honestly don't know, because like like Mr. Beast gets 100 million views. Okay, well that means that they showed it. They gave the option of people watching it to like 1 billion people, and it's like, okay, and then like, so the maximum mine ever get are like, it gets shown to like 200,000 people or whatever, like I don't know what the highest would be, but it's never higher than like 500,000 people that even get the option to see it. So it's like, why? Like if my click-through rate is 18%, which means almost 1 out of 5 people who sees it clicks on it, why aren't you showing it to more people? Like, why aren't you giving people, and then they're watching it for an average of 11 minutes, which is super fucking long. Why? Why are you not showing it to more people? But anyway, it's neither here nor there. I have nothing but good things to say about Google. You want to single leg me so bad so I could whoop your ass and tell people Jesse whooped my ass. I mean, I had this overwhelming feeling at one of the shows. Like I think it was 271. Like sometimes, sometimes you have like an instinct on things. Like basically every single time that I got in an action, well, maybe not every time, but most of the times that I got in a fight, like in the street when I was younger, I always had this like really strong gut feeling that was going to happen that night. Like something weird is in the air where I was like, I don't know, man, there's like violence in the air tonight. And one of the UFC shows I was at, I had this overwhelming feeling that I was like, I think someone in the crowd is looking at me and thinking to themselves like, dude, what if I got footage of me attacking Jesse on fire? So the whole time, literally, I was watching the fights and I was out of the corner of my eye. I was like, one of these guys comes, I'm going to stick my fucking keys through their eyeball. I don't know what it was. Like I had this very, very strong feeling that someone was plotting on me there. And it's the only show that I ever felt that way at. I didn't like none of them before, none of them after. I just had this feeling that someone there was kind of eyeballing me and thinking about it. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. So let me think. Guru's not using me for clout. People ask him about me 1,000 times. He just responds. Dude, when I do the Jesse on Drugs channel, I just saw that Colorado legalized Ibogaine. That's huge, dude, for people. Huge. That should probably be the first video that I do, and I should probably do it very soon. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just saw a text from my dude who does the Toad and DMT and all that stuff, and who hooked me up. Oh shit. Well, I got to respond to that in a second. Found out I got the news segments too. I'm not sure what that means. Ibogaine cures addiction to a lot of things. It was on it like blew up for curing opioid addiction, but now people use it for a lot of things. A lot of things. I was on Suboxone for years. And then I got off of them, thank God. Trying to get off subs. Do you think Kratom? I think you mean Kratom. Kratom will make the process of reducing your dose much less painful, but at a certain point you're gonna have to bite the bullet, and it's not gonna be fun, dude. It's not gonna be fun. And honestly, it binds so tight to your receptors that like you act like Ibogaine won't work. Ibogaine won't work for it, which is crazy. The only dude, what's so crazy, the only two things that Ibogaine doesn't work for are methadone and Suboxone. The two that are actually like, oh, well, oh man, hey, you're an addict. Let us help you out, dude. You don't want to be on those things your whole life. So we'll here, try methadone or try Suboxone. And what they don't tell you is that shit is actually designed to hook you fucking forever to where you can never, ever, ever get off of it. Ever. Yeah, getting off of Suboxone is rough, dude. You just have to do it over a really, really long period of time. I chopped from 8 milligrams down to 1 milligram over 10 months. Just incremental, dude. And it's going to not be super fun. You're not going to sleep very well. You know, you just got to get used to sleeping in the shower. You just got to do it. Suboxone hooks you worse than anything. And you don't even get high. All it does is make you not happy about anything. Like, it's like, okay, well, I'm not, okay, cool. So I'm not doing drugs anymore. And now I can't get excited or feel good about fucking anything. Anyway. But yeah. So the Derek Lewis fight, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. Oh, the other thing I was going to comment on that I put in the thumbnail was about the someone who they actually told, they were like, don't like quote me on this because I don't want to look like I'm talking shit about any specific champions, but like they were talking about how in hindsight, their former champion, like in hindsight, they're like the championship doesn't mean shit. Like if you take away the money, like if you take away the money in the UFC, like the structure of you know, like anybody who holds the belt, they get paid so much more money. If you take that away, being the champion, holding the championship belt genuinely doesn't mean anything because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're the best in the world. And they were telling, you know, we're like having like a candid conversation about this. He's like, in the Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira like situation proves that. He's like, it's like, he's like, this is like the perfect example of something I've always been saying. And he's like, you know, which undermines my own reign, but it's just true, which is like being champion is a result of circumstance, matchmaking, etc. And he's like, the only real champions, like the only real champions are the handful of guys that held the belt for an abnormal amount of time, like Anderson Silva, like Izzy until Alex, or like Kamaru Usman. It's like these guys that win the belt and then they hold it for 1 to 2 fights. It's like they're not the champion of shit. Like they're just not, dude. Like they're not the champion of anything. If they beat all of the guys once they hold the belt, then that's a different thing. He's like, but like you know, he's like, so now Alex is the champion. He's the champion of the world. He's like, what do you think would happen if he fought the top 10 guys? And I'm like, I honestly don't know. I mean, I think a lot of us are assuming that that like, you know, people like Hamzat, really good grapplers will beat him. But like, I mean, of course he's the champion. Like, of course he's a champion. What they're saying though is it like doesn't really mean anything, you know? Like of course he's the fucking champion. But it doesn't actually mean anything. It just means that you beat the previous guy who currently held the belt, you know? And I was thinking about that after you said it. I was like, God, man, that's actually fucking tough to argue with, dude. You know, because like if you look at, I mean, I don't really know how many defenses kind of take this argument and put it to the pasture. But it's like, you know, if a person wins the title and they defend it a few times, then it's kind of like, okay, that's legit. But a person wins the like Eddie Alvarez, right? Eddie Alvarez won the championship, right? He beat Rafael dos Anjos. He was like 2-2 in his last 4 fights, and then Conor smoked him. It's like, he made a lot of money in the Conor fight, but like he was the champion of like, I mean, it matters, of course. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's just like the way that people, at least the way that it's like observed is like, this means this is the best guy in the world. I think that's actually, I'm not doing a good job describing this. What he was saying is that just the person holding the belt, it doesn't mean that they are the best fighter in the world at the time. That was kind of his point. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I'm not talking shit, you fucking idiot. I'm saying what a former UFC champion said to me. Izzy cleared the fucking division out. Alex knocked out Izzy for the third time. He beat him. He's obviously the champion. His point is just that, like, being champion doesn't necessarily mean you're the best in the world until you've defended it a certain number of times. You know what? Honestly, that's his entire point. That's literally that is his whole point. It's like the champion is seen as the best in the world. It's not necessarily the case until XYZ. I mean, look at Islam Makhachev, though. Islam Makhachev won 10 fucking fights in a row and then ran through the guy who ran through everyone else. Like, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me he's not the best fighter in the world, dude. You know what I mean? My heart broke for Frankie. Been a fan of his for so long. Wanted to see him go out with his head high. I know, dude. Me too. But, dude, honestly, in his last 8 fights, he was 2-6 with 5 knockouts in his losses. I mean, he went past where he should have. And here's the other thing too, is people figured him out. You know what I mean? Like, people figured him out, where clearly he was wide open up the middle because he got kicked. He got knocked out twice with that flying knee, and another time with that front kick to the chin. And honestly, that might have even been, whoops. What the hell? This thing just jumped. Yeah, the belt is lineage, 100%. 100%. That's a fact. Again, his point had nothing to do with that. He was just talking about, that's all he was saying, is it doesn't mean that you're the best in the world. That's all he was saying. That's like his entire point. Wait, what the fuck was I just going to look up? Oh yeah. I was going to look up, Frankie Edgar. Like, I want to see when those exact fights were to see, oh shit, man. That's what I thought. So his last 3 fights, all 3, flying knee, front kick to the chin, flying knee. So he got knocked out with he had the exact same opening in all 3 of them. All 3 guys knocked him out the same way, which is kind of on the ropes. But yeah, J Beans, thank you very much for the super chat, my man. Wait, hang on. He's wrong though. If you have the belt, you're the best till someone takes it. Let me think about that. See, honestly, my problem with his argument actually is not even that. It's like, because now that I'm thinking, I actually don't agree with him, to be honest with you. Because here's what I'm actually thinking about, is like, saying who the best is also is very challenging, because it's mixed martial arts, dude. Like, it's mixed martial arts. Styles make fights, right? It's like, you put anyone in there who's going to stand and trade with Pereira, and as long as the guy's name's not Izzy, I don't think any of them have even a fucking chance against that guy, right? But then you put, like, let's say like Sean Brady in there. Sean Brady might be able to, fight Alex, grapple him, and beat him. But if you stick him in front of it, like, Sean Brady, what am I talking about? It's a fucking different weight class. You understand the point that I was making. But like a guy, someone who's a grappler, might just stylistically, he might beat Alex. And so it's like, okay, well, who's the best? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's why the point that he made that I think was fair is like for someone to know for sure, unequivocally, that during their reign, no one could, like, they were the guy, no one could beat him. You know, they kind of got to beat everybody because like there are just these random weird stylistic matchups that make a huge difference. Do I think an ankle lock specialist could ever win a championship? If they're purely an ankle lock specialist, no fucking way. No chance. If that's all they could do, like if you're talking like the dude that Dan Hooker fought or what's his fuck, who was the first guy that would always roll into that fucking, God, what the hell's that guy's name? Anyway, no way. Now, if they were vicious on their feet also, you know what I mean? Like if they were also just vicious on their feet, I mean, sure, dude. You know what I mean? Hang on, you guys. I'm going to take you guys with me. I got to go downstairs. Let me switch this audio real quick. Boop. Right. Hopefully I didn't just completely destroy the quality of this feed, but I have food in the oven, you guys, so you have to come with me. Look, you guys. Whee. There. We'll do a house tour. Look at that. That's where people live. Who cooks? Do you guys cook? That's how I do. Just 2 3/4 pounds of pork and stuffing. Let's see how much it. Let's see how we did. Ew. Let's see how we did. It's supposed to be 165 degrees. Oh, looking good. Looking good. Oh, yikes. Overdone. Oh. Damn it, you guys. I over fucking cooked it. What the fuck, dude? Last time I put it in there like that, it was fucking underdone. Anyway. Would Gordon Ryan be a UFC champion? So here's the thing. Here's what I would say about that. I would say that Gordon Ryan is he doesn't seem to be like he doesn't really possess like explosive speed at all. And in MMA, like, you know, like even in ADCC, like guys, like he'll take the opportunity to start sitting down from this position so that he can enter, you know, and entangle the legs and all that stuff. Like that shit's not going to work in fucking MMA, dude. Like, yeah, he's also never going to pass USADA. I don't think that he's likely to lose in submission grappling like fucking ever. Like ever. It's for the same reason, actually. Because he doesn't rely on being explosive or fast. He's going to be, I mean, he really seems to be, to me, to be someone who is like his technique is just better than anyone else's. And he knows he has all these different systems that are kind of algorithmically running through his head all the time. And, you know, jiu-jitsu is not drug tested. So he's going to be able to keep his body in like absolutely pristine shape for the next 20 years. So he honestly is probably just going to keep getting better and better and better and better and better. And it's already not competitive. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not competitive. So like, you know what I mean? Like how I don't know, like, how is he going to lose? But in MMA, I don't know. But who knows, dude? Gary Tonin from his team is let me see, actually. Gary Tonin is in 1, and he's like, I think he's undefeated, dude. Oh shit, he just lost. I didn't know that. Well, he was undefeated, and he lost to Ton Lee, who he lost his next fight. But he knocked out Gary Tonin in 56 seconds. That's interesting. I'll watch that fight. What's up, dudes? Mark, thank you for the super chat. The sub shot got me off. Tapers very slowly. Oh, really? I didn't even know what that is. Gabrielle, I just told them the story of you at the Arizona airport with your taser and your pepper sprays.
That is a true story.
They want to see the outfit you were wearing.
It's just a dress. It was just very, very low cut.
It was a brain melter for sure.
What? It's sure. Yeah, you're gonna be cold though.
Dude, you guys got to go to Jits. You guys need to leave for Jits in 15 minutes.
I know. You're so serious about that. Can't be late.
Giselle, you have a tournament in 2 weeks.
All right, sorry. I got to get ice.
That's true. Did you guys spar last class? You did? Hey, will you record it all, Gabrielle? Wait, you recorded it from last class? Send it to me. And then if they do today, send it to me also.
Knuckles went like this into the floor, and they all cracked, and then his fingers were broken.
Wait, what? Thank you, MMA Jagoff. And Gabrielle, they want to know if you're a supermodel.
That's a very nice thing to say.
She's too short.
I'm way too short.
She lived with a couple supermodels when we first met, and you want to know the difference between her and them?
They're very tall.
7 and 10 inches of height.
Yeah. I'm 5'3", and then my friends were 5'10 and a half, and 6 feet.
Dude, 6 foot.
She's really tall.
She's so tall.
Taylor Swift's taller than me.
Taylor Swift's 5'10". Her Taylor, the model, 6 foot. If she's 5'10", she's the same height as me. Is my wife taller than me? No.
Right now. So tall.
Nope.
100.
Look at your straight A's.
And then I got another 100 today.
Yeah.
There's this thing that multiplying decimals and dividing decimals.
I love that you actually just got up to prove that you were taller than me.
Dude, there's rumors on the internet that I'm 5'6" or something
like that. You guys know how easy
it
is to push his buttons?
Like, there's all these people that they're all, yeah, we're near 5'6". Like, no, I'm not.
Who cares?
I do. Gabrielle, they said if you wear a red leather dress, you can bring a gun.
Where?
On the plane.
Oh.
It's true. Thank you for the super chat, sir.
Super chat, sir.
Oh, really? Masvidal and Colby got pushed until February? Let me look that up.
Why? Someone get injured?
Delicious.
All right, everyone. Georgia, get dressed. Go.
14 minutes. 17.
Masvidal, Colby case.
All right, snacks.
Oh shit. There's a story. Oh yeah, I got a video I'm about to do.
I'll smell.
It's red panty night a few times a week here. But yes. I miss Unique, dude. I don't know why they don't show me his stuff anymore, dude. There's no, we don't know what, no one knows what prawn is. Dude, that's not nothing, man. Getting down from 8 to 4 is not easy. I was actually just talking to someone. Okay, I'm going up. Giselle, strangle people today.
Huh?
Strangle everyone today. Advice for a new father? Yes. Lots and lots and lots of advice. You'd have to be more specific. All right, I'm going up. So, you... Thank you for taking that.
See you later.
Yeah. Gabrielle has to take him to Jits because I can't train today.
Stay bougie.
Oh, why?
Yeah, so oh yeah, you guys got to hit the like. That's the deal. If you watch right now, you have to hit the like button. Anywho, so the fuck was I talking about a second ago? Oh, right. The down to 4. Okay. So there's a story about Masvidal. I was going to just talk about it, but I'm going to save it and I'm going to make a video about it. But, I was just telling someone else today about that like when you go from 8 to 4, it's not easy, but you still don't really feel that big of a difference. You know, like you're like, all right, like I feel good that I'm going in the right direction, but like day to day, I still don't feel like excited about things or whatever. If you get down to 2, you'll feel a huge difference. And if you get any time, like when you go under 2, any little bit that you keep like that you go down from there, you will see a you will feel a huge difference, dude. Like it's like and there's a reason for it too. It's like there's it's like the half-life when you get under 2 milligrams will actually start to reduce the hold on your receptors. Like for whatever reason, if you're above 2 milligrams, there's basically no difference. That's why it's fucking criminal, the amount of Suboxone that these doctors prescribe to people. Because there's no, like, when, like, I've talked to people whose doctors put them on 32 milligrams a day. You're all, what the fuck? Why? Like, why? Why on earth would you fucking put that much, like, put them on that? It doesn't make any sense, dude. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, there's no additional benefit other than once your brain gets used to that much in there, you have to cut down from there. Like, how could anyone get off that much, dude? It's insane, dude. Such bullshit. Fucking criminals, dude. But anyway, but yeah, if you get down to 2 or under, you'll see your doc got you on 4 8s a day, 32 milligrams. Exactly what I'm talking about. Fucking, he should go to jail, dude. He should go to jail. It's insane, dude. It's insane. Makes no sense, dude. Like, I mean, these people, like, I don't think that they just don't understand, dude. Vegas Vips, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Took a Suboxone when Conor McGregor was losing. Yeah. So cut your 8 milligram into 8 pieces. 7 months now. What's next? I don't know. Well, that's good. That's what you have to do. Like you have to do. You have to chop them down so that you know. I mean, it doesn't need to be exact, you know, like it doesn't need to be like exact, but you need to know, you need to be able to count your milligrams. Cause like, if they just give you like a strip, you know, it's like, how are you supposed to taper down? It comes in 8 milligrams at a time. But like, you just, honestly, I can't remember like exactly what like how I went down. It was something like I want to say that I did, like I went from like 8 to like 7, you know, and I know that what I would do is I would stay at a certain dose for like 7 days ish. You know, I would go down really slow. So it might've been even 8 to 8.5 or to 7.5. And I would do that for like a week. And like, at a certain point, there will be like a moment during that week where you start to feel it, you know, and for me, it was only at night. Like I would never like during the day be like, oh yeah, Suboxone. Like it's not like during the day I would be like, oh my God, I feel terrible. It was at night. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would just be like, fuck. And I would just feel this like, and it was a terrible time of my life, which I think is why I was able to get through it, is because I honestly didn't realize that it was the Suboxone that was doing it. Like I didn't realize that reducing my dose is why I was waking up with utterly paralyzing anxiety. I just thought it was because like my life had fallen apart. Because that's when I started chopping down, was when, like, after I lost the company and every other fucking thing fell apart. But doctor starts people at 24 milligrams. Jesus Christ, dude. And dude, people don't know. How would anyone know? Like they come in there, they're all, hey, you know, I'm a heroin user, I'm a fentanyl user, and by the way, a lesson that I learned the hard way is so when you first, this is obviously all stuff that we'll talk about on the new Jesse on Drugs channel that I'm going to launch. And the whole entire point of that channel, honestly, like someone was like, so what's your purpose of that channel? And I was like, I want to change, I want to completely change the conversation around this topic, because it is a shockingly overwhelming percentage of the population that is either just overtly knows that they were hooked, is actively hooked on something that they want to quit, has previously been hooked on something that they want to quit, or is questioning whether maybe they have a problem with the thing that they're taking. Like, it's like almost everyone falls into that category, and people sitting there like in their, like, and it's all in their own head. They're all, oh geez, I don't know if I should talk about this. I don't want people to think I'm a drug addict. It's like, dude, everyone is, like, fucking everyone. So why, like, just talk about it like a big boy, dude. You can talk about anything if you talk about it confidently. I honestly, if someone's never struggled with it, I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like, what, why? You, like, what are you, you know, I don't know what's going on in your fucking life, but like, it's weird. Jagoff, you're down to 2 milligrams a day. Attaboy, dude. And I bet you feel a lot different. And if you, like, once you start going down just a little, you have to go real slow from there. But I bet you feel fucking awesome. Sort of feel a lot better anyway. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, I just want to change the conversation completely and make it to where people who, like, have never struggled with drugs are the fucking weirdos, because that is actually reality, you know? Like, I'm not ashamed of fucking anything. There's nothing I've ever done that I would be ashamed to talk about. So, like, anyway, but like, but one thing that I learned the hard way is when you first start, or like when you've done Suboxone, like for a little while, if you're on pills, you know, like the doctor will tell you, they're like, so you need to wait until you start going into like you just first start going into withdrawal, and then you can start taking Suboxone. And That's not true with pills. Like, so with Oxy, Norcos, if it's actually not fake, but the real stuff, Oxy, Norcos, or morphine, you can just start taking Suboxone immediately and just go straight to Suboxone. You'll be fine, right? The reason they say you have to wait is because they're like, oh, well, it can cause precipitous withdrawal, which means that it actually will tear all the other stuff off your receptors and it won't bind. And so it'll throw you into horrendous withdrawal if you just take Suboxone. And I always thought that was a myth, dude. Like, I was like, nah, come on. Like, and so and obviously once you learn that with Suboxone, you go off and on and off and on, you know, if you're a good drug addict, then what you learn is you can go get like what Suboxone actually serves as is just like, it's like an insurance policy that you'll never go into withdrawal. You know, where you're like, if you run out of pills, you just take Suboxone, you're fine, you know, versus like being a pill addict. And then if you run out, you're like, oh my gosh, and you go to fucking the worst hell on earth. So, and I'm not suggesting anybody fucking do this. Like, I'm all the way off. Like, I'll never fucking go back on anything. But like, you know, but if we're being honest about what it's like, you know, for a person who does that, that's what it's like. If you get a batch of fake Norcos or fake Oxy, which means you're actually taking fentanyl, this is something very different. Like, you know, and so one thing you'll learn too, if you get the fake ones, is they feel a lot better because it's fucking fentanyl. So of course you're like, Jesus, this batch is the shit, son. You're like, yeah, that's because they're not Norcos. You're taking fucking fentanyl. Of course it feels fucking amazing. It's the strongest shit ever. And so if you get a source that's giving those to you, and your body gets hooked on fentanyl and not on Oxy or Norco or whatever, then when you take Suboxone, it'll throw you into whatever that word is, precipitous withdrawal, straight into withdrawal. So you go from like top of the world to full throttle fentanyl withdrawal. Like, and yeah, that was the end for me, dude. That happened to me once, and that was the end. I went and did Ibogaine and never fucking did any of this shit again. It's the fucking worst thing ever. If you think that, like, you think fucking going through withdrawal off Norcos or Oxys is bad, it's the worst thing ever. I remember sitting in my shower. And thinking to myself, if I didn't have kids, I would actually consider fucking eating a bullet right now. Like, like, just because you don't know how long it's going to last. I mean, I wouldn't have like done it, but I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I can understand how a person would just be like, I'd rather die than go through this anymore. Like, whatever, like, I have no idea how long this is going to last. I don't think I can fucking last another, you know, however long this is going to take. It's that fucking bad, dude. It's that bad. But but yeah, now Ibogaine is legal in Colorado. So, speaking of which, I got to respond to my buddy here. Oops. Whoops. What's up, dude? So he asked about me. What did he say? And I'm excellent in Texas. And dude, we should reconnect and see what's going on, especially like I said about the Ibogaine thing in Colorado. I think that a lot of people that's gonna be big business, and a lot of people are gonna get help. And I would certainly feel very comfortable sending them to you, my friend. So let's talk. Anyway, so like whoops. Oh Jesus. I don't know what the hell is going on. So Ibogaine is a very, 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 very strong psychedelic that people have found that if you take it, like if you stop taking opioids and you take Ibogaine and you do an Ibogaine trip, you won't go through a full opioid withdrawal. People reported like a 90% reduction in the symptoms. But I mean, listen, I recommended it to someone and they said that they actually did still go through some form of withdrawal while they did it, but they did it and they're still clean now, you know, like they're still like months and months and months and months later. But it's basically like Ibogaine is like it's heavy, dude. Like it'll be the heaviest thing that you've ever done, like without any shred of doubt. It's legal. It's legal. They just made it legal in Colorado, like just made it legal in Colorado. So yeah, I mean, I imagine that they're all of the kind of like in the know Ibogaine outfits are going to be going to Colorado. And candidly, I'm going to like when I do this Jesse on Drugs channel and I really start to like build a community around it, I will feel phenomenal about sending people to, because I know a fair number of people in the Ibogaine community because of like having done it. And then, you know, just I network pretty well. And so I'm going to kind of map out where the right places to go are. And I'll feel very good about sending people there just because it's like, it's not as bad as acid. It lasts like 13 hours and it lasts like 13 hours. And what's different about Ibogaine is what the experience is like. Ibogaine and Rogaine foam gets you to the next level. That's a fact, dude. Like if you do ayahuasca and you go into the forest, you know, your experience will, or mushrooms even, like your experience tend to be like, in many cases will be about like, well, certainly with shrooms, like nature and like kind of the world around you. And you'll see things much more clearly. And, you know, ayahuasca, I've heard people, you know, have these like completely religious, you know, kind of like nature of the world shaking experiences. Ibogaine, I know exactly what it's going to be like for you. I know what it's going to be like for everyone because it's the same for everyone. And it's like, it's going to be a 13-hour audit of your life and you know, like it's the same experience for everybody where it's like, you know, like no one does Ibogaine and then comes out with like a new understanding of like fucking, you know, like nature and shit. It's like, it's going to take every lie you've ever told yourself or everything about yourself that you didn't understand. And it's just going to rip the Band-Aid off and you're going to have to just go through it. Like, it's not like fun, dude. There's nothing fucking fun about it. It's super, super, super fucking heavy, but it's what you need, dude. It's like, you know, it's what you need. The story I tell everybody, because like, I mean, you know, it's 13 hours. So there's a lot of shit that I did, but like the very first thing, I think that they show you what you need to see in order to, like, it's like I don't know, the whatever kind of like spirit or whatever is guiding you through this thing. I think it shows you what you need to see in order. Cause like, so mine, I, you know, you're sitting there like, you know, it's coming. Like you know, it's coming, but you don't know. And you know, it's gonna be really heavy. Like the place that I did, the place that I did, they would only do one person a day. So you're like you're in this house. Oh, no, sorry, 2 people a day. They would do 2 people a day. So like the first, you know, you first get there, they check your vitals, they do all this stuff to make sure that you're safe the next days, whatever. Like, it's like you're there for 2 or 3 days before you actually do it. And when, you know, you'll eat dinner at night, the person who did it that day will come out. So like they would like just get done and they would come out. And so you get to talk to them right afterwards. Right. And so the first guy that went, he was there and he just was like, he had the best time ever. You know, you hear that like every once in a while, someone actually really enjoys it. Like they like genuinely, really, really, really enjoy it. And he was like, dude, he was like, oh my God. He's like, man, I just never wanted it to end. He's like, I never wanted it to end. I thought that like, I was so upset when it was over. Like I looked and it had been 12 hours. He's like, I thought it felt like 10 minutes. And I was like, really? And I remember just being like, fucking God. Like I was so scared that I was like, awesome. So this might actually be amazing. Right. Like this might actually be amazing. And and so it's me and this dude, the other guy, like another guy that were just who hadn't done it. And he went in the next night, and this was the day before I was doing it. And he came out, oh my God, bro. He looked like someone, like, just imagine the exact opposite experience of that dude. He came out just like his hair was all fucked up. Like it was very rough for him. Like, and he told me about what it was like. And he's just like, dude, he's like, all I was thinking the whole time is like, when is this going to fucking end, dude? Like, when is this going to end? And, you know, and he told me kind of about his experience or whatever, but I went in with those two examples, like, oh, maybe it's going to be super fun, or maybe it's going to be the worst fucking day of your entire life, you know? So, I did oral. So I went in and I did it. It took forever to hit. So I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And like, you know, when you've taken like a heavy psychedelic that you know is going to be really heavy. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys know what it's like. You're kind of sitting there like, am I tripping yet? Like, you know, even if you've done a shitload of psychedelics, it's always like that. You're all, I can't tell if this is hitting me yet or not, you know? And that's what it was like. Cause, and I'd obviously never done Ibogaine. So I had no idea what to wait for, or kind of go, okay, so like, you know, what's going to be an indicator that this is working? And it was crazy. Like I was laying there and all of a sudden it was like, the only way I can describe the feeling is like, it's like a fast forward accordion into like this other, it was like, and I was like, all of a sudden I was looking at I was having a vision of an Instagram post with Gabrielle and my kids, as vivid as I'm looking at this fucking computer right now. Is like, that's the thing, is like you experience these things, or I did, extremely, like, you know, it's not real, but you experience it like it is. You know, I don't know how to explain it better than that. It's like, you know, you're not, this is not actually happening, but you are experiencing it 100% as if it was. And it was an Instagram post of my wife and my kids. And then I looked, and then this other dude came out. It was them with another dude. Like, this other guy was in my life. Like, and it was like Gabrielle had left me and taken the family, and this other guy was her husband now. And then like this, you know, and it was like, and then, you know, this thing is kind of like, it's not like talking to you. It's kind of like showing you what you need to see. And it was like, keep doing this, dude. Like, keep doing this and doing this. This is your fucking future. And it was like, and all of these different details, like, she makes her own money, dude. She'll fucking leave you. And then it was like, here, you want to see what you're doing? Like, you want to see what your life looks like in this moment? And I was brought, like, I got to kind of zoom out of the Instagram thing, and it's me, and it was me looking at it. And I'm in an apartment alone, just like soaked into the emotional reality that there's nothing I can do, that I've lost her completely. There, I can't fix it. It's like, it's impossible to explain, because it's like, it's not like that actually happened, but you experience it like it did, you know? Like, it's that, I'm like, I can't explain to you how heavy this fucking drug is, dude. It's like like you get to actually, or I got to actually experience like what it would be like if I kept doing this and I lost my family for real. And it was like, not like, can you imagine what that would be like? It's like, this is what it's like. Now fucking sit in it, dude. And so like, when I think about it now, I remember it like it's not like an experience that I remember as like a psychedelic. It's a memory. Like, it's not like I remember it as if it's something that actually happened. It's fucking, dude. So that's the first like probably 12 minutes of 13 hours, you know. That's the first fucking, as you know, the very beginning. And I think that was like the, you know, and they just kind of do it in sequential order. Like, so the way I experienced it was, I was basically on this, like, I was like on this river that was like, it was like, It's a Small World. in Disneyland, except I'm floating past. And what's crazy, the first guy described it just like this, like the way that except he was flying. I was on water. Like I was like on water and I was just like cruising, and everywhere I looked would be like some other thing that I needed to address. It was like, I would just get thrown into it, fucking dick deep, you know? And it was just like, you're going to burn, you know, like just, I mean, I can't even get into it, but it's all these things. Like the you know, the central theme of all of mine was very, very simple. It was short-term thinking, impulsive fucking moron. Here's what happens in the long run with this, this, and this. And yeah, it's like, you know what? I just realized this is how I can best describe it, dude. So like, you ever think about people making decisions that end up where like the worst case actually happens, you know? Like, so it's like some guy, you know, he's at work and he has the opportunity to like, I don't know, steal fucking 20 grand. He doesn't think he'll get caught. He knows what the repercussions would potentially be, but like he thinks he won't get caught, right? And he actually does it, takes the 20K. He gets popped, right? He gets arrested. He goes to jail. They throw the fucking book at him. And he ends up doing 7 years in prison. And while he's in prison, his wife and his kids leave him. And while he's sitting in his cell, he thinks to himself, he gets to actually feel the overwhelming regret associated with having made that decision, and how he's like, fuck, if I could do it over, I would never fucking do that. Like if I would never fuck, like what the fuck was I would never do that, because he actually got to experience the repercussions. That's what it's like. It's like, that's what it was like for me. It was like, here you go. And so I actually got to experience the repercussions of reckless, idiotic fucking decisions that I was making, where it was like consistently making. And it was like, here. So I got to actually live in the repercussions, and to where now back in real life, you're like, Jesus, I'll never fucking do that ever again. Ever. I will never fucking do that shit again. Unfortunately, no, it will not. So wait, hang on a second. Okay, sorry, never mind. So basically, like, yeah, it's really expensive. It's very expensive. It won't be so expensive in Colorado, though. You know, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's so expensive now, anywhere between like 6 to 12 to, I've actually heard of places that were 20K, but it's, anyway, if you got 7 or 8 grand, you can get it done. But the reason it's so expensive is because you have to go to Mexico. There's only a few clinics. You have to do it in Mexico. They have all this, like, it's all this like medical equipment thing. It's a fucking medical procedure. But yeah. But in terms of like Suboxone, it doesn't work. It's really unfair. I mean, again, it's ridiculous. It does not work. Like if you go in and you do Ibogaine, it won't work. It like you'll come out sick. Like it just doesn't work. Like it just doesn't work. It doesn't work on methadone either. So what you need, well, not what you need to do. What a person could do, which I may or may not have done, but I would never recommend to anyone else, is you have to switch over to something short acting again. So you need to get out, like, or a person would need to get off of Suboxone by getting back on, you know, pills or whatever. So again, I'm not recommending people do that, but like, that just is what it is. It works on Vicodin. It works on, the best one I've heard is morphine. Morphine's very, very short acting. It's not that strong. Oxy, even the world killer, any of those things it works. But you'd have to be on those for a couple months. So it's a clusterfuck. I can never suggest that to somebody. They're all okay, cool. Like I don't know what kind of drug addict people are. Like I don't have any idea what kind of drug addict people are. Because like some people, you're like, so you would need to go on something short acting for 2.5 months, and they could be like, okay. And if they got the supply, they could actually do that and keep themselves under control. Only take 4 a day or whatever. Other people, the second that you put that shit in their system, especially with like fentanyl, if they've been out of the game for a long time, you may as well just give them a death sentence because they're just going to keep bumping and bumping and bumping. So like, Vicodin is weak. No one who does that anymore. No one, because you can't get them. Lots of people do fake Vicodin that is actually fentanyl. If you're addicted to weed, I have no idea. I honestly don't know. Suboxone works good for you. That's good, dude. If listen. I mean, if it works good, it works good. For me, it made me feel like I couldn't get excited or happy about anything. Like nothing. Because that's what Suboxone's fucking tagline is, you take it instead of opioids and it doesn't get you high. It's like, okay, cool. Good. And you're like, so how does that work exactly? They're like, how does what work? You're all, how does it not get you high? They're all, oh, well, it just blocks your brain's ability to release serotonin and dopamine. You're all, aren't those the things that make people happy? They're all, yeah, it is. You're all, so it just blocks it if you try to take opioids? They're all, no, it just blocks it. You're all, so I'll just never feel happy. They're all, nah, I don't think about it too much. It's just, you won't get high. If you take opioids, you won't get high. You're all, what if I just was like excited to go on a trip? They're all, excited. I don't know if that's going to be something that you feel very much. Like I just never felt excited about anything. I never felt happy about anything. I just felt completely fucking blank. So I kicked those bitches. The green OCs, the green 80s. I don't know, dude. I wasn't a big oxy guy. The 30s I was taking were fake. I was taking those the blue 30s that were actually fentanyl. I'll tell you what, though. I was when I was in Mexico last month. We went to the pharmacy. I was actually going to, I was going to get these. I was going to get these. These are, whatever this is, like metofenidato, which is like Mexican Ritalin or whatever. And so I went there to go get that. And then I just figured, I was like, oh, I'll just ask, like, I'm just curious, like how much they cost now. So I was like, how much, you guys have Norco's oxys? And she's like, yeah. She's like, we have these ones and these ones. And she's like, so this is, these are the 10 milligram oxy, and this bottle's 200. And I was like, how many are in there? She's like 50. I was like, 50? She's like, yeah. I was like, 50 10 milligram oxys for $200? She's like, yeah. I'm like, $4 each? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. That is not oxy. 100%, without a doubt, that shit ain't oxy. And she's like, yeah, and the Vicodins are, we have the 7.5, the 7.5 hydrocodone, and those are, same price. I'm like, oh, $4 each. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Those are fentanyl. Both of those are fentanyl. Which is crazy to think about. Like, this is like a legit pharmacy, and the bottles are like real pharmaceutical bottles. Like, that's how big business fucking fentanyl is now, that like through legit Mexican pharmacies, they have fentanyl just being sold as oxy. It's fuck. I don't know, man. Business is business, but yeah. No, I wasn't getting fake shit in 2005. 2005 is when I was hooked on Norcos. That was like that's the first time I ever got hooked on pills. I mean, the whole thing that's so crazy is how in the 90s and early 2000s, like doctors were being told they were unethical if they didn't prescribe the shit. It's insane, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. This is your key to happiness and sobriety. Kratom and Gabrielle's fucking peach tea. The peach tea that Gabrielle sells is the bomb, dude. It's the bomb. It's the bomb. I drink it every single day. And it's not because it tastes good, because it tastes like shit. It tastes like fucking shit. But that's because the main active ingredient tastes terrible. So it's like, it's 100% worth it. Whoa, what? Hold up. George Masvidal goes off. Let's watch this together, you guys.
Brendan Schaub is not confident in Alex Pereira defending his middleweight title. Brendan doesn't believe Pereira beats a single guy in the top 5 of the division. On his YouTube channel, Brendan said, I'm not taking anything away from Alex, but I don't think he beats a single guy in the top 5. Robert Whittaker, after he saw Izzy and Pereira's grappling and the wrestling, I'm sure every guy in the top 5 are like, dear God, please give me that guy. For those guys that can actually wrestle, and not just one takedown in an arsenal, and have chain wrestling and they have Jiu Jitsu higher than a blue belt, they're foaming at the to get their hands on Pereira. UFC knows this, and they're going to protect him. Like Hamzat tweeted out, I'll fight at 185, I'll be your champ. Now,
that's true, though.
Wanted Hamzat to be a superstar at 170 and 185. Your next fight is going to be Hamzat versus Alex Pereira. Hamzat.
Okay, I'll comment on that. I should probably do a whole separate video on this, but your top 5 is Izzy. He just beat Izzy. Robert Whittaker. I mean, I don't know, man. That's tough. Jared Cannonier. Pereira fucks Cannonier up. Marvin Vittori, if Marvin Vittori can get it to the ground, obviously that's one thing. Derek Brunson, Pereira will fuck Brunson up. And I say that because Cannonier fucked Brunson up. Strickland, he knocked out. Paulo Costa, Alex Pereira knocks out. Darren Till, not good. Jack Hermanson, not good. Dude, honestly, I actually like Alex against most of the guys. I think it's only Hamzat that is like, that's a fucking nightmare, dude. A nightmare. Yes, if you're on Suboxone, you can take Kratom, 100%. And it works the same. Like it works just as good if you're on it and not. Like that's the thing. Because Kratom's not actually an opioid. It's like, it feels like an opioid, but it's not. Like if you're taking Suboxone and then you take a Norco, it doesn't really work. But Kratom works exactly the same either way. Whittaker's trouble for sure. Do I want Schaub's phone number? I have Schaub's phone number. Thank you, though. I'm telling you, dude, I don't care. People fucking talk shit about Schaub. Schaub's the fucking nicest motherfucker on earth, dude. Like when people try to tell me about Schaub, they're like, I'm like, guy, I've literally hung out in a very small room with Schaub for a good fucking 20 hours now. He's super fucking cool. Super nice. Anybody who came in, any of these guys, anybody who talks shit to him online, if they actually came in, they're all, hey, Brendan, how are you? He'd be like, hi. He'd be the nicest fucking guy to them ever. He's awesome, dude. He also fucking works his balls off. If you're an entrepreneur and you watch his operation for a day, you'd be like, Jesus, no wonder this fucking guy's killing it, dude. He works so fucking hard, dude. I definitely do not agree with him on this, though, about Pereira losing to everybody. I definitely don't agree with that. Okay.
On the DC and RC show, DC said, is it time for Dominic Reyes to walk away after what Ryan Spann did to him? Because we got a guy that was super close to becoming the champion against John Jones. Now he got knocked out by Yuri, who's the champ. He got knocked out by Jan Blachowicz, who was the champ. Now he's not fighting champions. He lost to a guy in Ryan Spann who has now won 2 in a row. Is it time for Dominic Reyes to be done?
Man.
Henry Cejudo made an appearance on the Believe You Me podcast with Michael Bisping this week. Here's the clip where...
Man, that's a tough... Dude, that sucks, dude. See, there you go. Right? And dude, don't you think it's fucking weird? Like, don't you think it's weird how much hate he gets? Like, I don't understand. Like, honest to God, I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand it. I've never seen a single clip of his where I was like, oh, he comes off like an asshole. Like, I'm always scratching my head. Like, where I'm like, what the fuck? Why do people think he, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I really don't understand it. Like, I genuinely don't understand it. I'm not just saying that like for, you know, like, I really don't. But yeah, like, what the fuck? Wait, are we like competing? Is that what we were talking about? I thought you were just saying that he was the nicest guy and I was agreeing with you. I mean, I was on his fight companion twice in his last 2 fight companions I was on. How about you? But yeah, like, I mean, dude, if people want to break his balls about comedy, like, you know, that's whatever. But like, you know, like, again, like if people are just like, oh, I don't like his comedy. It's like, all right, you know, like that's just, I mean, everybody can have an opinion. I'm talking about people who like, who really are like, believe he's like a bad guy. I'm like, I don't understand, you know, like, I really don't understand. I don't understand. But yeah, I'm sure, dude. And Jacoby, I have no doubt that he was the nicest fucking guy because he's literally like the nicest dude ever. He gets bombarded at those shows. Like, he does like meet and greets after his shows. And he's so fucking nice to all the people that roll up on him, man. He's also fucking huge, bro. He's so big, dude. He's so fucking big. Okay, so Cejudo says that he can beat everybody. Let's hear that.
Henry breaks down how he beats everybody in the bantamweight division.
What do you think of them? Chito Vera. Punish him. Has difficulty with the guys with lateral movements. I'd beat him up. Easy money. Sugar Sean O'Malley. Easy money. Princess, the Third Island boy. He absolutely sucks. I'd stop him within 3 rounds. Obviously, Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Stain Sterling, you know, a.k.a. Flavor Flav. He wouldn't make it past 3 rounds either. Defend his takedowns. You know, beat him up with my hands and feet to eventually knock him out with the freaking head kick. And then, I mean, I'm not going to say Volkanovski, that's so obvious. Islam Makhachev, the swerve ball. Islam Makhachev, what would happen? He's the 155 champion. Yeah, that is. Fighting Volkanov, come on. Give it to the Dagestanis. There's a rivalry.
I was going to answer this
between American wrestling and the Dagestani wrestling. Chandler came out this week and talked a bit of Bo Nichols jumping on that bandwagon as well and saying we need to show these Dagestanis that the Americans can wrestle better. No, 100%. But yeah, and that's what we'll take it because 155 pounds. First, I got to win the 45 to eventually go up and maybe even challenge any of these other guys. So I don't want people to also think that I'm a wishful thinker either. No, I know. He's in his category. But yeah, but that being said, American wrestling is better than Dagestani wrestling. When it comes to the sport of mixed martial arts, is because American style wrestling is the folk style wrestling. Yeah. Is when we're able to control. If you're to put Khabib with an NCAA champ or an NCAA wrestler, and you just haven't worked out.
He's hilarious.
Adesanya was TKO'd by Alex Pereira. Izzy protested the stoppage to the referee Mark Goddard. Izzy on the MMA Hour this week doubled down and said that he was fine when Mark stopped the fight. Izzy made the comparison to his fight against Kelvin Gastelum, which Mark Goddard also reffed. He makes the point that Kelvin was dropped multiple times and Mark never stopped the fight.
And I watched the sequence again. I watched it and I was just like, head down. When I'm having my head down, I'm still looking at him. I can see the knees coming. People were like, oh, what if the knee came up? I'm looking at his feet and I'm looking at his arms.
Butcher, thank you very much. Dude.
But when I know where your arms and feet are, I know where you're.
Yeah, Izzy saying the same thing that I repeated yesterday. He said he's like, I know where his arms and feet are, and I'm just, waiting for him to guess out. Butchers, thank you so much, man. Third Island boy, you gotta say triple cringe guy. That was good. Hope your day's going good. I'm sure by the time this super chat hits the bank, you'll be able to buy a chicken breast or something. I very much appreciate that, my friend, and I will remember you forever. Thank you, sir. Yeah, dude. I mean, again, dude. Just like I said. Oh. Wait. Hamzat Chimaev continues.
Chimaev continues to call out Alex Pereira on social media.
Oh, so he wants Pereira. I bet he fucking does, dude. Jacoby, I know you would, dude. Thank you very much. What do you guys think? Like, who would you rather see? Who would you rather see Alex fight? Izzy, Hamzat, or let me go back to the rankings. Whitaker. Izzy, Whitaker, or Hamzat? You guys tell me. Who would you rather? Hamzat. Third Island Boy. He's fucking hilarious, dude. I like Hamzat. I want to see Hamzat fight everyone, dude. I really do. All right, now let's see. Here's the thing I would.
Dunking him. Gilbert tweeted, just letting everyone know. The UFC offered me Jorge 3 times. First time was for November 12th. He said he needs more time. Second time for December 10th. He said he was going to Brazil.
You know what? I want to see Izzy too. I take that back. Izzy.
To fight me, and now he just said no again. So I guess the B from his BMF belt doesn't stand for bad. Jorge responded to Gilbert with a video message. Here's what he had to say.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Sorry, been missing. You know, the boy's been spreading his words, doing his thing, making sure this country stays free as can be. I love all of you, left to right. Midterms are over already, so now I can focus on some other things like myself and being selfish. So I gotta address this little that I usually wouldn't have time for, but I'll make some time for you to date, Gilbert.
He likes him.
If you're hearing this or when you see this, can you please tell this I never agreed to November, December, or January? I've had court cases, I've had different things, a bunch of things where I haven't been able to decide I want to fight. Now I've gotten some much better news on today, so guess what? If you want to get your ass whooped when Leon Edwards defends that belt in England, I will gladly beat the living. If not, shut the
Let's go.
And you're not going to do nothing. When you see me in the street or when you see me in the cage, and we both know it, you're going to ask for a picture when you see me in real life and say it's all bull just for the pay-per-view. So shut the up.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news.
Let's go. Let's go. Masvidal and Gilbert on the England card. Come on, son. Hunter, when you see this, tell this bitch I never agreed to November, December, or January. I've had court cases. I've had different things, bunch of things. I haven't been able to decide who I got to fight. Now I got some better news today. So guess what? If you want to get your ass whooped. Wait, so is that is the news what you guys said? Someone told me that like the court case got pushed to February. I mean, dude, in all honesty, listen. I fucking love Masvidal. I fucking love Masvidal. Even considering this Colby Steakhouse thing that I still will never fully believe until, like, you know, I see a video of it or he gets actually charged. But even if that is true, I still love fucking Masvidal. And, but the truth is, when it comes to who should fight on that card in England, when Leon fights Kamaru, it's Colby, dude. Do you know what I mean? Boxing MMA. What's up, dog? Like it should, I mean, obviously it should be Colby because like Masvidal can't win one fight and get a title shot. Well, it's not true, actually. I take that back, dude. That's not true. That is not true. I take that back. I take that back. Because if Leon wins and Masvidal wins, Leon could call for Masvidal payback after they fought backstage. There's a big enough story there that he could. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna record a video right now because I can't believe I successfully held this off for 2 hours. But like I did, there's a story about Walt Harris's fucking daughter's murder. that I found some information on that I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I've never heard a story done about this, which is, well, also it's kind of new information, but it's also like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's a fucking terrible story. Really, really terrible story. But anyway, I am going to do that, and then I'm going to post that, and then I'm going to do a video about Masvidal and Colby, and then I'm going to post that too. Adam, who would win stand-up, Pereira versus Romero at 85? Pereira. Pereira's beating everybody at 85 that's standing up. Unless it's Izzy. Jacoby, you email me, my friend. I don't know how to get you. Email me. My email's in the description. All right, dudes. Thank you guys. I will I'm going to post later. Please give the videos a look when they post, and then shoot a like on them. Love you guys. Peace.